Welcome into the Cougar Tailgate, where BYU fandom lives. Here's your host, Lauren McClain.
What's up, everyone? I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day with the ones you love, especially after the potential sadness that followed the ending of the Super Bowl, thus meaning the ending of football until September. We'll talk about what we do to overcome our post-football blues, plus the Winter Olympics officially ends tomorrow as well, and we'll discuss if the games mean as much to us as they once did. Later in the show, BYU women's basketball star Paisley Harding joins me to tell us what it feels like to be dominating in the WCC and what it's like having all this unprecedented attention on the team. But first, here with me now is Justin Timberlake's stand-in double, Spencer Linton.
It's
Hello
gonna
there,
be May.
Seriously, okay, every time I associate with you with a celebrity, it's always Justin Timberlake because I know how much you loved NSYNC in high school. I can't get it out of my brain. All right, well, with the Super Bowl over, football doesn't start up again until September, Spencer, and for diehard football fans, that's a long 7 months. However, we have like baseball and softball. They've started up, men's volleyball, basketball's still going on. But Spencer, do you get the post-football blues?
A little bit, and it didn't help that my favorite National Football League team, the Cincinnati Bengals, happened to lose in the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry
so
about
I'm sitting
that.
on that Super Bowl loss. I'm one of 9 Bengals fans in the entire state of Utah. So I'm sure the other 8 feel as equally as depressed as I do, but I don't know. I think with the NFL draft and mini camps and then summer camps and all the discussion that goes on around that, it certainly helps pass the time because before you know it, we're going to be at BYU Football Media Day in mid to late June, and then NFL training camps open up, and now they're only playing 3 preseason games, and the regular season is now 17 or make it 18 weeks. So we have more football. And then if you have a life outside of football, like, I don't know, kids and a job and some other things, that also helps the time move by pretty quickly. So, yeah, there's naturally just kind of like a letdown because football is so much fun and it dominates things, and fantasy football and prop picks and all of those things. Like, they make it a lot of fun. So, yeah, it doesn't help that it's February, and in every place outside of, like, beach towns in the United States, the weather's kind of miserable and gray, and then there's no football, and it's just like, ugh, what do we do now?
Yep.
And we're still
Absolutely.
kind of a month away from March Madness. Like, when March Madness happens, then I feel like the natural kind of mojo and happiness comes back for us. But I feel like there's just kind of a long layoff for a month with gray, cold weather. Punxsutawney Phil told us there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter to make it even worse that there's no football anymore. And so we're all just kind of pining for those warmer temperatures, and March Madness to kind of bring back that natural sports enthusiasm. That's how it is for me anyway.
The warmer weather I definitely pine for, but maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I like the break from football. Football is intense and all-encompassing, kind of like you were saying. There's so much that goes on, and it's my favorite sport. Don't get me wrong. I love to watch it, but there's so much drama that accompanies football that it's nice to have a little break to enjoy some other sports, perhaps, or our children, as you've said. And that may sound blasphemous to some, but it really is. It's how I feel. I just think you get a little bit stressed. I do with football, and you only have a certain number of games, and you got to catch them, and you got to catch every play. And so it's nice to calm down a little bit. Spencer, what's your favorite football off-season sport? Because you cover a lot of them and you just enjoy a lot of them. Which one's your favorite?
Yeah, I think I alluded to it. College basketball in the spring, I think, is just so fun. We talk about little kids and how excited they get on Christmas Eve, you know, knowing that Santa Claus is going to deliver all the presents. For me, my Christmas Eve is the night before the first round of the NCAA tournament. Because I know that on Thursday and Friday, I'm going to unwrap these gifts, if you will, of just chaos, unexpected, tiny teams competing with these huge juggernauts, games going down to the wire, and it's 16 games each day. You get 32 games in 2 days, and then everyone's bracket is just lit on fire, you know, metaphorically speaking, because everyone has made the absolute wrong picks and all of these big teams have been upset. Like, the first 2 days of the NCAA tournament are where it's at for me outside of football season. And I don't think that your take is that hot, Lauren. Like football,
Really?
there is value in football having a break because it makes people want it. It needs to go away for a little while because that raises the value. It's the supply and demand
Absence
thing.
makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes.
As they say.
And frankly, the football players need to break too so that their bodies can recover physically.
Oh, yeah.
But I think there's great value in having to wait for it for a little while. And that's why, the draft and the combine and mini camps and all this stuff, that's good enough. Because by the time you get to the season, it's like, oh, you've been clamoring for it. It's finally back. So there is value in that. I think that's an apt point that you bring up. We need the break. The athletes need the break. And it makes it even more desirable when it finally does come back.
So much truth to that. And I with you, love the NCAA tournament for men and women's basketball. I always have terrible brackets, but it is. And what's nice is it's quick. It's like a week or two, and then you can relax again. Because I have to say, Spence, my favorite off-season sport has to be baseball or softball, because baseball is the opposite of football. You get to relax for most of the game. It's a much slower pace, but with moments of excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And plus there are a million games, so you have a lot of opportunities to watch your team play. Again, that is the opposite of football. So I think for me, I like to relax a little, after football season with the warmer weather. Baseball and softball are just the perfect sports for that. But it is fun to have at the end of March that NCAA tournament. I think it's a blast.
And to further your point of baseball, like if you were to have me pick like something I would want to do on vacation in terms of a sporting event, I would absolutely choose going to a Major League Baseball game or even a collegiate baseball game at BYU specifically, because the Cougars have one of the most beautiful backdrops for a baseball field at any level. It is incredible. And every year we see it pop up on our social media timelines. Oh, the backdrop of BYU is gorgeous. It's glorious. It's the best I've ever seen. And it happens like clockwork. Every year, every spring, when BYU games start to happen again, these national writers will come in and be like, this is unbelievable. This is incredible with the mountain backdrop and just the colors and the warmth. I love that. But the ambiance of a baseball game, eating a hot dog, drinking a Coke, watching your teams play. And I don't even have to watch like my favorite team. Like if I'm just in a ballpark anywhere.
Yeah, it could be any team.
Like I'll go to Cleveland or Detroit, which are not the most welcoming towns. Okay? That's not to say the people aren't nice there, but just, you know what I'm talking about. A little bit harder culture. I don't care. You put me in Tiger Stadium or at Jacobs Field in Cleveland and give me a hot dog and some Coke to drink and just I'm watching baseball. It's like the greatest. The sun's out. Day games are my favorite with baseball. I love it. That is my favorite. You just eat junk food and watch really, really good athletes with amazing hand-eye coordination hit a baseball, at just ridiculous lengths or throw it at ridiculous speeds while you just relax. So I'm with you. I love that. That is like the ultimate, the pure sport and the perfect way to enjoy a sporting event in the summer.
Agreed. And it comes at the perfect time. And it's a little more family friendly, given if you're not like sitting where your child could get hit in the face with a baseball.
Keep your head on a swivel, people.
Yes, that's right. So maybe it's not as stress-free as we're thinking, depending on where you're sitting. All right, Spence, the Winter Games also end this weekend, and there have been some incredible performances and some drama as always. Spencer, were you able to watch much or any of the Olympics this year?
I probably haven't watched as much as I have in the past, and that may deal with just having more general viewing options and more children running around my home. It's isn't it funny how life changes? You welcome more things and more distractions into your life, and you're like, oh man, I would never not watch this football game or this Olympic event or whatever. And it's like, it's my own Olympic event just to get my kids in bed by 9:00 every night. Like, give me the gold medal. They were all in bed and bathed before 9:00. I deserve a medal for that. And so does my wife, Brittany.
Seriously.
So by the time I get to it, it's like, I'm so tired. I just want to eat a bowl of Lucky Charms. And I'll watch this combined.
And watch this mindless show.
Yeah, exactly. If it's an Olympic event, however, like whatever, I don't even care. Like I'll watch this alpine skiing event and a little bit of this curling match.
They are
whatever.
They're hard to watch.
Whatever.
No, Yeah.
I mean, I
I'm
probably
with
haven't
you.
watched enough. Yeah. And so, like you say, you're with me. Maybe your life has changed, and so you're not as heavily engaged in the Olympic events as you once were.
Well, I want to have this discussion on if the games are becoming less and less important to fans, at least in the United States, because I remember being a little girl, Spencer, and we would watch as much as we could
Yes.
as a family. And there were athletes I thought were so incredible. I remember particularly loving gymnastics and watching the dream team play, and it
Yep.
was something that felt huge. And now I think Olympians are amazing, but the games don't hold as much weight for me. And that could be because, like you said, I'm older, everything is a little more tainted as you get older as well. There's
Yeah.
so much going on. We have kids. There are so much more, viewing options, which I think really ties into it a lot, because now we have a million options of things to watch, where back then you were lucky if you had cable, and even if you did, you would turn on the Olympics because it was on prime time. And so I don't know. How do you see it from your perspective on if the popularity of the games is declining?
We're just more distracted as a world, as a society, with our smartphones and our streaming services and our other responsibilities between work and family. I mean, it's just so much to balance right now. And when we were growing up, like, we had 2 TVs in my house, like 2 viewing screens. We weren't watching things on our phones and on our tablets and having like these multiple streaming experiences, right? It was, hey, the family's going to sit down together on our main TV in the basement or in our family room, and we're going to watch like the most exciting primetime events that CBS or NBC or ABC, or whoever has the broadcast rights to the Olympics, have packaged together for us. Okay, they're going to show us the best stuff, and we're going to watch this because there's not really anything else on. Like, there are, like, I don't know, if you didn't have cable, you had like maybe 8 to 10 channels, and if the Olympics were there, you were watching the Olympics, and it was a family event. It was destination viewing. The Winter Olympics have never been as popular as the Summer Olympics in general, but this time around, I'm feeling it especially. Like, I have made a point to, like, when I turn on the TV, I'm like, I'm going to support the Olympians. I have had that thought. Like, I'm going to watch them on purpose and not stream my favorite comedy or watch what I really want to watch, because I feel like I owe it to these athletes to kind of dive into their stories. But ratings are down. We're more distracted. There's just more things to do and more things for us to have our attention drawn away from than, what we grew up with, the limited options of destination viewing.
That's so funny you say that, Spencer, because I didn't even realize it till this moment, but I really do that exact same thing, where I will purposefully, doesn't matter what the sport is, but I will sit there and watch it just to give some support to these athletes that have worked their tails off for years and years and years to compete. And it's not like, I don't know, I don't know how much they actually care that we're watching, but that's a lot of the reason why they do it, right? And they do it to represent the United States, and so they hope that we watch and we support them and we cheer for them. But I'm with you. It's sad. And so I don't know, because our generation, we have, all the phones and everything now, but we also know what it was like back then. The younger generation, I don't know how the Olympics is going to progress in the future, and how, if it's even going to be popular, because of this younger generation may not even care, as much as we do. So
they have to compete for the attention of a worldwide fan base that isn't as into sports and are more into pop culture. And just, again, everybody is just distracted by so many different things.
It's true. Spence, you are fantastic, my friend. Thank you for coming on with me once again.
Great to be with you.
All right, coming up, BYU women's basketball senior star guard Paisley Harding in all her glory. This is Cougar Tailgate. Welcome back to Cougar Tailgate. I'm Lauren McClain. The BYU women's basketball team is one of the best squads to ever come through the program, and the senior leadership is one of the many reasons they're shining above the rest. And joining me now is the feisty, energetic, skilled, and freaking tough senior guard, Paisley Harding. What's up, Paisley?
Hi, thank you for that introduction. That was really nice.
You're welcome. Hey, anything for you, and you deserve it, honestly. Okay, so I talked to Kayla Coulihan-Clough a couple of weeks ago. about both of your husbands and Jaren Hall's conversation on Twitter about who is the most athletic in the relationship. Connor plays basketball, played for BYU and now for UVU. So Paisley, who would you say is the most athletic in the relationship?
I mean, Connor already said it's me.
And what he says goes, right? Yeah. How can you
Yes.
dispute that?
Right? No, like Connor is athletic, but I think I'm naturally athletic. He really, really put in a lot of work to be able to be to jump as high as he did. Like he did crazy like band work with his older brother Spencer all the time. So he's athletic, but because he put in that work to be athletic, I think my parents just gave me this natural ability.
It's totally you then. It's totally you if you don't have to work as hard. Do you two compete in anything else besides basketball?
Oh, Lauren, it's everything. Like it's so bad. We're working on that because I think it's better for a relationship if we don't compete at everything. But I mean, there's always board games, who made the best cookies, like everywhere.
Oh my goodness. Well, yes, that can be good and bad for a relationship, definitely. So good luck though, because you're both very competitive. So that's probably going to be the rest of your life, Paisley.
Yep.
And then when
Yeah,
when
for
your
sure.
children come, they probably will be as well. So you guys, obviously, you've talked about this so much. You guys are getting so much media attention, which I love because you deserve
Mhm.
it. How would you describe this season so far? You still have a lot to go, but how would you describe it so far?
I don't know. It's kind of like a Cinderella story. I don't know. It's like I don't know, my career, I've been waiting for something magical like this. Like we've always been good. Like there's been like 2 previous years that like we've been super, super good. So I don't know. I just feel like I've been waiting for this year. It's just been so magical and fun. We like enjoy it all. Like there's been hard times too. Like it's crazy how mental sports are, especially basketball. So there's been hard
Mhm.
times too, but we all lean on each other in those hard times, which is like so special about this team. So I don't know, this group of people that we have, like players to coaches to support staff to weights coaches to trainers, everything, like everybody, like it's a special group. We really have fun together.
Well, what I think is so cool is that a lot of times with basketball and other sports, if you get one loss, that can really get into your head and even the best of teams can take a dive at that point. But you guys turn it around and start a news streak. And I think that is so awesome. And like I said, you've been receiving so much attention. It's unprecedented. And that's what happens when you win for sure. So what's it
Yeah.
been like from your perspective to have all this attention on you and on the team?
Yeah. I mean, it's so fun to be at the Marriott Center and see like the media box of photographers just full. Because we haven't really ever had that. We've had like 2 or 3 photographers there from like different like news outlets, but like these last couple of weeks the whole box has been full, so that's been so special. Like that's been so fun. I think people love to hear about Connor and I, so I get a lot of media attention from that. And I don't know. Plus I like social media and I'm on that, so people always have something to like say. So I'm kind of used to it, which is like good. But yeah, it's fun. This year has been so fun.
Well, you just have one of the best personalities, honestly. You make it so fun to
Oh,
watch you on the court and then to follow you on social media. You're just this awesome and bright and like I said at the beginning, feisty person, and that's what makes you so fun to watch. I love the little girl that put the stitches below her eyes that comes to the game and loves to watch you.
yes.
That's got to be a little bit surreal. What does that mean to you to have little girls like that watching you and looking up to you?
Yeah, her name's Peyton, and she is such a loyal fan of mine. She's literally so cute. And last game she came wearing stitches on her face, which was so cute. But she is such a fun. She drives from Wyoming with her parents and her little sister, and they drive from Wyoming every single day to come to our games, and they're just so supportive of us. It's really sweet to think that I'm making an impact on like this little girl's life. Her dad is so sweet and always tells me all the time, just like how much Peyton just, I don't know, gains confidence from me, which like makes me feel really good that I can make such a positive impact in someone's life. And I know like there's other people out there that have told me that they enjoy me as a role model for their kids, which is like super also nice to hear. I don't know, it's very humbling. And it's special. I don't know, I feel special with Peyton. I think that's we're gonna have a special bond, I think.
Absolutely. And what's so cool is it's not just little girls. I think it's little boys and adult males and adult women who are looking up to you guys and who are watching you and who've become some really loyal fans. And speaking of fans, the Marriott Center has felt a little different this year with you guys. From your perspective as a player, how has it been different for you?
I mean, we're just growing our fan base, which is so great. It helps that we're winning games and that we're fun to watch and that like we come and we interact with our fans after games. So we've really grown like special connections with these people. Um, it's been so fun. Like it gets really loud in here. The other girls, like sometimes us girls would talk to the other team and they'll just like comment about how many people are here and they just like I can tell they enjoy coming here too, just to have that more of like a like fan base, loud, energetic like atmosphere. So it's been so fun. We have great fans.
Well, one of those fans has been Danny Ainge. When you see him and other prominent names in the stands like that, when you're playing a game, does it change your mindset or how you play at all?
No, I don't think that changes how we play, but I do see him and I'm like, oh, I wonder if he liked that move I had. I have had that thought before. I don't know. Yeah, it's really fun to see Danny Ainge in the stands. We've also seen Coach Rose. Coach Rose and Lee have a very special bond. So he's come and watched us play. Ryan Smith was with Danny Ainge last time. So yeah, it's been fun seeing these people show their support of women's basketball, which is so awesome and important. Not only for us to see, but I think others. So it's been great. It's really fun to see them.
Oh, I would totally try and do like some sweet move running past Danny Age and probably turn it over, which you wouldn't do. So good for you. So you guys have so many fun and energetic personalities on the team. I love this team. What are, we see you in games, but what are practices like with all these different personalities?
I mean, like they're competitive. We don't want to lose. Like today, the white team beat us in zone, which Emma Calvert was on fire. She had fire in her veins, like or ice in her veins, and just like fire on her fingertips. Just she was going off. They ended up beating us in the zone today, and all of us blue girls are like, "Come on, we got to beat them in man." So we went and beat them in man. But I don't know. We're competitive. It's so fun. Like inside the court, we're all like we're not yelling at each other, but we're like sometimes chippy, talking trash. We're like having a good time though. We're always laughing. So it's been fun. The personalities are great this year. I love it. I love when people come out of their shells and just like are their truest selves.
You guys are living the dream. And you've probably talked about the moment Jetty gave you the whiteboard and told you to drop a play. I haven't heard you talk about it yet. So I want to know. Everyone was smiling and you were up by like a million points. I don't know. So of course you guys were smiling. But what did you say during that timeout to the girls?
Well, I was shocked that Jenny gave me that clipboard. Like, I don't know. We were just Zoshan, because me and like I think Tegan went up to their like coaches huddle right out of a timeout because they usually talk about what they're gonna say and then come in and like tell us what they want us to do. And so we were up by so much. I don't know why Tegan and I went up to him, but we were just kind of like having a good time. And Zoshan was like, "Oh, so you guys want to be a GA now?" And then Jenny goes, "Hey, Paisley, here's the whiteboard. Go tell them what to do." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay, let's go. Coach Taze is here." So I like told them to run a play. and told them to get back on defense, do a defense for one time, and then go back into another. I don't know. I just, it was fun. Everybody was so engaged. I was kind of like shocked. I thought they'd be laughing or something, but they were so focused. Like the girls on the bench were like super focused, like really wanted to go out and execute like what I'd said. So I felt really good. I don't know. It was a cool experience.
I love that you didn't even hesitate too. You're like, yep, hand me that whiteboard. Let's get this done. Not many personalities would do that. So I love it. You're going to be a great coach one day. Speaking of Juddy, you've been coached by Juddy now for 5 years. And we all know him as just like a goofy, kind and unique guy. He did vlogging with Juddy back in the day with me and you, and it was fantastic. But what's something about Juddy that not many people would know that you've kind of discovered in these last 5 years?
I wonder if people know this, but he's super emotional, if that makes sense. Like he has such a soft spot in his heart for us girls that like he was passing us out our Valentine's cookies that Mary Kay makes us every single year and passing out to us red roses on Valentine's Day, and was just like tearing up and just saying how much he loved us and appreciated us. He's very keyed in with his emotions, and he has a lot of love for us girls.
Oh, that's like making me tear up. What a sweetheart.
It's really cute.
I love that so much. What a good man. I love it. All right. BYU senior guard, Paisley Harding. Paisley, thank you so much for taking the time with me today, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you so much for having me, Lauren.
And that does it for us today. Thanks again to Paisley Harding and Spencer Linton for coming on the show with me. You can join the Cougar Tailgate virtually, of course, every Saturday at noon Mountain Time, or download, rate, and review our podcast on Apple, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, or on BYUradio.org. This is Cougar Tailgate.